जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरंगो गंधर्विका गिरिधारी जीव की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरंगो श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्त्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरंगो श्री राधा नयननाथ जीव की जय। जय श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव की जय। जय नित्यलीला प्रिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंसास्तत्र सचिशिला भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला प्रिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंसास्तत्र सचिशिला भक्ति दैत माधव गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला प्रिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंसास्तत्र सचिशिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। जय परमहंसा शिला गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय शिशिला सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। जय वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिला जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय श्री रूपानुग गुरुवरे की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासुदेव गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गो गोवर्धन वृंदावन श्री राधा कुंदा श्याम कुंदात्मक श्री ब्रज मंदिर की जय। जय श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय। जय श्री बलदेव सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ श्री सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। जय श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। जय सर्वविघ्न विनाशनकारी श्री नृसिंह देव की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। वंदे हम श्री गुरो श्री जुता पदकमलम् श्री गुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्री रूपं सग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM 5th Canto. Brahma instructed Priyavrata that he should accept the responsibility of ruling this universe, and he also got married and had 10 sons and one daughter, I think. Yes, one daughter. And out of these 10 sons, we heard 3 among these 10, namely Kavi, Mahavir, and Savan, lived in complete celibacy. Thus trained in brahmachari life from the beginning of childhood, they were very conversant with the highest perfection, known as the Paramahamsa Ashram. We heard up to this point. Tasmin va upashama shilach paramarshayach sakala jiva nikaya vasasya bhagavato vasudevasya bhitanam sharanabhutasya Srimacharanaravindha virata smarana vigalita parama bhakti yoganu bhavena paribhavitantar hridayadigate bhagavati sarvesham bhutanam atma bhute pratyakatmani evatmanas tadatmyam avisheshena samyuho. Thus situated in the renounced order from the beginning of their lives, all 3 of them completely controlled the activities of their senses and thus became great saints. They concentrated their minds always upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the resting place of the totality of living entities and who is therefore celebrated as Vasudev. Lord Vasudev is the only shelter of those who are actually afraid of material existence. Not all are. Some thinking this is very good, this material existence we will enjoy. But those who know this is not good, they are afraid, they take shelter of Vasudev. By constantly thinking of his lotus feet, these 3 sons of Maharaj by the prowess of their devotional service, they could directly perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart as the Super Soul, and realize that there was qualitatively no difference between themselves and Him. This is very nice verse. They were thinking of Supreme Lord. Here Smarana Vigalita, Parama Bhakti Yoga. They did this Smaran Bhakti, but for Smaran Bhakti you need purification of heart. So that they were following Brahmacharya, and then they concentrated, and always they were thinking of Supreme Lord, and they could get darshan of Supreme Lord. And they realized, who am I, real self and Supreme Lord, and that both are transcendental, eternal, Satchidananda. Only difference is Krishna is big, we are very small, smallest. But Satchidananda, so there is qualitatively no difference, but quantitatively there is big difference. So we are His servants. That you realize. So in Kali Yuga, the process recommended is Kirtan Bhakti, not Smaran Bhakti. Kirtan Bhakti. Shukadeva Goswami says, in Kali Yuga there is ocean of faults, but there is one good quality, that by Kirtan Bhakti you can get ultimate goal of life. And which Kirtan? That is Hare Nam Eva Kevalam Sankirtana prayer, that also verse. So when one does Kirtan with faith, Mahamantra, then when the purification of heart comes by the power of this Kirtan, then Smaran is automatic. That kind of Smaran is without any effort. Automatically it is there by Kirtan. Then that will take you to Krishna. But for purification of heart, one has to do Kirtan. And Jiva Goswami says, even when one attains purification of heart and he is eligible for doing Smaran, still he should not give up Kirtan, should go on with Kirtan. Anyasyam api jayayam trayah putra asan uttamas tamaso raivata iti manvantaradhi patayaha. In his other wife, Maharaj Priyavrata begot 3 sons named Uttama, Tamasa and Raivata. All of them later took charge of Manvantara millenniums. Evam upashama yaneshu sva tanayeshu ata jagati patir jagatim arbudani ekadasha parivatsaranam avya ha takila purusha kara sara sambrita dor danda jugala pirita mourvi guna stanita viramita dharma pratipaksho barhishmatyash chanudinam edhamana pramoda prasarana yoshinya vrida pramushita hasavaloka ruchira kshveli adibhihi parabhu yamana viveka ivana va buddhyamana iva mahamana bubhuje. After Kavi, Mahavir and Savana were completely trained in the Paramahansa stage of life, Maharaj Priyavrata ruled the universe for 11 arbudas of years. Whenever he was determined to fix his arrow upon his bowstring with his 2 powerful arms, all opponents of regulative principles of religious life would flee from his presence in fear of the unparalleled prowess he displayed in ruling the universe. He greatly loved his wife Barhishmati, and with the increase of days, their exchange of nuptial love also increased. By her feminine behavior, as she dressed herself, walked, got up, smiled, laughed, and glanced about, Queen Barhishmati increased his energy. Thus, although he was a great soul, he appeared lost in the feminine conduct of his wife. He behaved with her just like an ordinary man, but actually he was a great soul. Here it is written in commentary. In this verse, the word dharma pratipakshaha, opponents of religious principles, refers not to a particular faith, but to varna ashram dharma, the division of society, socially and spiritually, into 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. To maintain proper social order and help the citizens gradually progress towards the goal of life, namely spiritual understanding, the principles of varna ashram dharma must be accepted. If you are not liberated soul or realized soul in devotion, then you have to follow this for purification of heart. From this verse, Maharaj Priyavrata appears to have been so strict in maintaining this institution of varna ashram dharma that anyone neglecting it would immediately flee from his presence as soon as the king warned him by fighting or administering light punishment. That was for their own good, that is out of compassion, not that he wants to harm them, that he's evil or malicious, no, but he knows to follow this is good for them and for everyone, so they should do it. So those who are thinking to not do it, he did this for their good. Indeed, Maharaj Priyavrata would not have to fight, for simply of his strong determination they dared not disobey the rules and regulations of varna ashram dharma. It is said that unless human society is regulated by varna ashram dharma, it is no better than a bestial society of cats and dogs. Maharaj Priyavrata therefore strictly maintained varna ashram dharma by his extraordinary, unparalleled prowess. Now, in Raya Ramananda Sambat, Mahaprabhu rejected varna ashram dharma, but as I told many times, those who are devotees, they have faith that we are eternal sons of Krishna, but they are not liberated. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained that they are not following varna ashram dharma like I am thinking I am of this world, I am Brahmin. No, but only for maintenance of their life, to facilitate devotion they are following. But nowadays, even in India, this varna ashram dharma is fully disturbed and destroyed. It is not proper. Why? Because at some period of time, they started following according to birth, not according to qualities and work. So that is not actual varna ashram dharma. So our Gurudev also told in Western countries that all it is not there. So what you have to do is to have some suitable profession. What is suitable to your nature, and that it is not involving these 4 regulative principles, sins. In that way you earn, if you are household, and you do bhajan. That is the point. No need to so much go into Varna, Ashram, Dharma, all the rules and regulations, everything. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur told that devotees follow those rules and regulations of Varna, Ashram only which are favorable for their devotion, not all, only those. So nowadays it is not so practical. This is according to time, place, circumstance, that is practical something, and according to your nature, then it will be more easy for you. And do chanting without offenses. With this you can get ultimate goal of life. But in that was in Satya Yuga, that was very important that everyone follows. Otherwise it is only society of cats and dogs. To maintain such a life of strict vigilance, one needs encouragement from his wife. In the Varna Ashram Dharma system, certain classes, such as the Brahmanas and Sannyasis, do not need encouragement from the opposite sex. But they need encouragement. Brahmacharis from Guru or Sannyasi in that ashram where they are staying, and Sannyasis, they are getting inspiration from Supreme Lord, encouragement, and from their gurus. Kshatriyas and Grihastas, however, actually need the encouragement of their wives in order to execute their duties. Indeed, a Grihasta or Kshatriya cannot properly execute his responsibilities without the association of his wife. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally admitted that a Grihasta must live with a wife. Kshatriyas were even allowed to have many wives to encourage them in discharging the duties of government. The association of a good wife is necessary in a life of karma and political affairs. To execute his duties properly, therefore, Maharaj Priyavrata took advantage of his good wife Barhishmati, who was always very expert in pleasing her great husband by properly dressing herself, smiling and exhibiting her feminine bodily features. Queen Barhishmati always kept Maharaj Priyavrata very encouraged, and thus he executed his governmental duty very properly. In this verse, Eva has twice been used to indicate that Maharaj Priyavrata acted exactly like a hand-packed husband, means attached to wife, and thereby seemed to have lost his sense of human responsibility. Actually, however, he was fully conscious of his position as a spirit soul, although he seemingly behaved like an acquiescent karmic husband. Maharaj Priyavrata thus ruled the universe for 11 arbudas of years. One arbuda consists of 100 million years. Yes, 100 million years. And he ruled for 11 arbudas. And Maharaj Priyavrata ruled the universe for 11 such arbudas. So, 100 millions, yes, so much time. That is special, because generally in Satya Yuga they will live for 100,000 years, 1 lakh. But he lived longer. So in devotional practice nowadays, those who are like brahmacharis and sannyasis, they are getting sadhu sangha and getting encouragement in the mat. Or if they are babajis in Navadip Dham or in Vrindavan Dham or Puri Dham, they also have some association of sadhus. They get encouragement. But those who are in household life, they are getting mutual encouragement. Husband has to encourage wife to chant Harinam, and wife has to encourage husband to chant Harinam, and if possible Diti worship and Harikatha and cooking and maintaining everything. That is, especially in Kali Yuga, this is necessary. Sango, Kalo, Sangha Shakti. In Kali Yuga, strength is in Sangha, in congregation. However the number may be, but something is better than nothing. Alone is difficult to do alone. Only those who are like already in that bhava stage or something, they are getting direct connection with the lila of Krishna, they can stay alone and do bhajan because they are always in lila. So for them no problem, but for others, Sangha Shakti is recommended and necessary. Yavat ava basayati suragirim anuparikraman bhagavan adityo vasuda talam ardhe naiva pratapati ardhe nava chadayati tadahi bhagavat upasano pachitati purusha prabhavastat anabhinandan samajavena ratena jyotirmayena rajanim apidinam karishyamiti saptakrit vastaranim anu parya kramat dvitya iva patangaha. While so excellently ruling the universe, King Priyavrata once became dissatisfied with the circumambulation of the most powerful sun god. Encircling Sumeru hill on his chariot, the sun god illuminates all the surrounding planetary systems. However, when the sun is on the northern side of the hill, the south receives less light, and when the sun is in the south, the north receives less. King Priyavrata disliked this situation and therefore decided to make daylight in the part of the universe where there was night. He followed the orbit of the sun god on a brilliant chariot and thus fulfilled his desire. He could perform such wonderful activities because of the power he had achieved by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here it is 7 times he made this. I was reading some days back this. Yes, Saptakrit, 7 times he did. There is in Jiva Goswami's and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's, but I forgot now why this day is during summertime is longer and winter time is shorter. There it is written why it is so, but I forgot now. Maybe here in this commentary something. There is a Bengali saying which describes that someone is so powerful that he can make the night day and day night. That saying is current because of the prowess of Priyavrata. His activities demonstrate how powerful he became by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna is known as Yogeshwara, the master of all mystic powers. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, wherever there is the master of all mystic powers, victory, fortune and all other opulences are present. Devotional service is so powerful. When a devotee achieves what he wants to accomplish, it is not by his own mystic power, but by the grace of the master of mystic power, Lord Krishna. By his grace, a devotee can accomplish wonderful things unimaginable even to the most powerful scientist. Devotees also, they have mystic powers, but given by Krishna and for his service, whatever is necessary. But devotees, they are not like trying to show off for name and fame and unnecessary, no. But if it is necessary for Krishna service, they can have everything. Because Krishna is the master Yogeshwara. From the description in this verse, it appears that the sun moves. According to modern astronomers, the sun is fixed in one place, surrounded by the solar system, but here we find that the sun is not stationary. It is rotating in a prescribed orbit. This fact is corroborated by Brahma Samhita, Yasya Gaya Brahmati Sambritakala Chakraha. The sun is rotating in its fixed orbit in accordance with the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Jyotirveda, the science of astronomy in the Vedic literature, the sun moves for 6 months on the northern side of the Sumeru hill and for 6 months on the southern side. We have practical experience on this planet that when there is summer in the north, there is winter in the south, and vice versa. Modern materialistic scientists sometimes present themselves as knowing all the ingredients of the sun, yet they are unable to offer a second sun like Maharaja Priyavratas. Although Maharaj Priyavrata devised a very powerful chariot as brilliant as the sun, he had no desire to compete with Sun God, for a Vaishnava never wants to supersede another Vaishnava. His purpose was to give abundant benefits in material existence. When there was night, then he went there with his chariot and illuminated that side. And then when sun was going this side, he went this side like this. So there was always light. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks that in the month of April and May, the rays of Maharaj Priyavrata's brilliant sun were as pleasing as the rays of the moon, and means not scorching hot. And in October and November, both morning and evening, that sun provided more warmth than the sunshine. In winter time, when it's cold, so sun will give some heat, but his chariot gave more that time. So compassionate. In short, Maharaj Priyavrata was extremely powerful, and his actions extended his power in all directions. But I forgot, I have to read again. Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they explained this point, and there is something about why the day is shorter and night shorter. I forgot. Ye va uha tat ratha charana nimikrita parikata ste sapta sindava asan yata eva krita sapta bhuva dvipaha. These words, ye va uha, there are many times in Upanishads you will find. Ha means certainly, and who also like this. When Priyavrata drove his chariot behind the sun, the rims of his chariot's wheels created impressions that later became 7 oceans, dividing the planetary system known as Bhumandala into 7 islands. There are 7 oceans. We know only this salty ocean, but there are 7. They will be explained later. And they divide the 7 planetary systems. No. Here it is meant Bhumandala. They make 7 islands like 7 continents. Or it will come. Jambu, Plaksha, Shalmali, Kusha, Kroncha, Shaka, Pushkara, Samgyas, Tesham, Parimanam, Purvasmat, the Utaro, Yatha, Shankyam, Dviguna, Manena, Bahi, Samantata, Upakliptaha. The names of the islands are Jambu, Plaksha, Shalmali, Kusha, Kroncha, Shaka, and Pushkara. I know that in Shalmali Island, Govardhan appeared. We are hearing on Govardhan Puja Day that is Shalmali Island. Then Pulastya Rishi, he brought him to Brajadham. He wanted to bring him to Kashi, but Govardhan did not want to go. He wanted to stay in Vrindavan. Each island is twice as large as the one preceding it, and each is surrounded by a liquid substance, beyond which is the next island. Ksha ro dekshu rasoda suroda gritoda kshiroda dadi mandada shudoda sapta jala dhayah sapta dvipa parikha iva bhyantara dvipa samana ekaikashena yatanu purvam saptaswapi bahir dvipeshu pritak parita Upakalpitas teshu jambu adishu barhishmati patir anuvrata natmajan agni dredmajihva yagyabahu hiranya reto grita prishta medatiti vitihotra sangyan yata sankyeneka kasmin ekam evadipatim vidadhe. The 7 oceans respectively contain salt water, sugarcane juice, liquor, clarified butter, milk, emulsified yogurt, and sweet drinking water. In between, I will open that Bishran Chakri Thakur's commentary. So there are 7 islands, these oceans, and they are making 7 islands. All the islands are completely surrounded by these oceans, and each ocean is equal in breadth to the island it surrounds. Maharaj Priyavrata, the husband of Queen Barhishmati, gave sovereignty over these islands to his respective sons, namely Agnidra, Idmajihva, Yagyabahu, Hiranyarita, Grita Prishta, Medatiti, and Vitihotra. Thus they all became kings by the order of their father. Because other 3 sons we heard before, they were brahmacharis and they were doing smaran bhakti, and they became paramahansas, realized souls. But these 7, they became grihastas, kshatriyas, and rulers. That is also according to past karma. Whether one will become ascetic or household. That is also seen in astrological chart, that karma is there written, but expert can see those who are expert Jyotish, like Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was first class expert astrologer. He could see such things inside. It is there in karma. So he had 10 sons, but 3 naturally they were not inclined to this. They were inclined for internal bhajan, but this but in some special cases, if they get strong sadhu sangha, then even if it is not in their chart, they can come for ascetic life by the power of some powerful saint. Prabhupada made many like this. He brought them to the mat because in house it would be very difficult to do bhajan. So he took them and was protecting them and gave them sadhu sangha and bhajan. So gradually they could surmount this. Our Padmanabh Maharaj also is like this. He was brahmachari, young, in our mat, and was doing bhajan. Then one day, some say, no, that is in Jajavar Maharaj's case, one who knew how to read your hand, he was checking his hand, this part here you can see marriage. He told him, you will get married. When you will be 30 years old, is sure, fixed. You cannot escape. Then he became worried because he did not want. He was brahmachari in the mat. Then he intentionally went to one good astrologer to check, second opinion. Then he also said, yes, it is sure. At the age of 30, you will get married. Then he was more worried. Then he went to another one, third one. He also said, yes, when 30 years, you will get married. It is sure, fixed. Then he was very worried. But he was doing bhajan. That was many years before. Then he himself told me, I heard directly from him. He said, when I became 30, I was living in the mat, that time Chagda mat. He said that desire came in me, naturally. Because karma also has different periods, what will come out at which period. So he said, I got so much desire for marriage. But I did not want, so I was doing my bhajan more, but it could not be removed. Then he said, then I was also praying to Nrishingadev. I was repeating his mantra again and again and praying. Then from Nrishingadev he got idea. Nrishingadev indicated to him, you tell to your Gurudev, you ask his advice. Then Padmanabh Maharaj wrote one letter to our Guru. That time there was no WhatsApp and Facebook and these things, only letter. Even phone was very rare. Phone, some rich they had. So he wrote letter and he said that generally Gurudev's letter would need more time to reach back. But that time very quickly it came. Then Gurudev told in that letter that it is very good that you opened your heart openly. You are very simple-hearted because Padmanabh Maharaj, he revealed everything what is going on, not hiding, not shy, fully open. Then Gurudev told him in that letter, you see that song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Hori he prapanche porya agoti hoya na deki upayar. Oh Hari, I have fallen into this 5 material elements world. Prapanche porya agoti hoya na deki, I am lost and I don't find any means. And there is written, I have no to control these 6 urges. I tried my best. I did my full effort. I did, but I could not control. That song is Oneko jatane se sabadamane chari achi ashami. Ekono barasatumi. One very nice song. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote. I tried my best, but I could not. So now, Supreme Lord, now only you are my hope. I want your causeless mercy. I have no bhajan, I have no sadhan, I have no karma, gyan, nothing. I don't have. I want your causeless mercy. Ahoy to kripa chai. Then anaterona dakitabanam ekono bharasatumi. Anateronat, you are the master of those who have no master, who are lost. I am only calling you from the core of heart. You are now my only hope. Not any other process, and also my own effort failed. So now I am calling you from the core of heart, then it is possible. So Gurudev said, you see this song, and you practice this song. And then he practiced according to Gurudev's. Means we have to give up this idea that we can, by our own effort and by other process, but we have to fully surrender to Supreme Lord and chant His name from the core of heart with hopelessness, helplessness, and He's the only hope, like real surrender, full surrender. Then he told, I was practicing what Gurudev told me, then that in 14 days that was finished and never came back. And now he's living, he's sannyasi. And he later he saw that man again who was checking in his hand, and he said, yes, I am surprised, but that your line in your this is changed now. So it is possible. For general people, it is written there already in karma, what will happen. But some powerful saint, and if you are in devotion, you can come out. Also, another example was that Jajavar Maharaj. He also had in his chart and in his hand. So but he was doing bhajan, when Prabhupada then told him, I will give you sannyas, then he said, no, it is not good, because I have marriage in my karma. So I'm afraid, I don't want that I will take sannyas and then later I will give up sannyas. That is not good. So I'm afraid to take sannyas. Then Prabhupada said, no, why you are afraid? You are going towards Supreme Lord, who is Abhaya Charanarvindam. His lotus feet grant fearlessness. So what you are afraid? He was encouraging him. Then he took sannyas, surrendering to Prabhupada, and by that also that karma changed. In his case also that was changed. So it is possible, but generally it is already there mentioned. So they became king. 7 sons became king of 7 islands. So he had 10 sons. Appropriate number was there, because 3 will become brahmacharis and 3 will rule. So I will now read that commentary. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, verse 30. 1 second. Yes. That verse, that Priyavrata was surrounding in his chariot to give light. So here, this verse describes his influence. Priyavrata reigned at the time when the sun would shine lighting up half the earth up to Loka Loka mountain as daytime, as it rotates around Meru, while covering half the surface of the earth with darkness, which experienced night. By his worship of the Lord, he surpassed all humans in influence. Discontent with half the earth's surface being covered by darkness, he followed the movement of the sun, so that when the sun set, he would light up that area. He followed the sun not to compete with the sun, but to give happiness to the inhabitants of earth. Because of this arrangement also, in months like Jeshta, hot months, the sun made by Priyavrata was cooler than the moon, and in cool months like Marga Shirsha, the sun made by Priyavrata was warmer than the other sun at dawn and dusk. This means that by the power of yoga or sages like Shobari, Priyavrata had two bodies, one as the king and one as the sun. But where is that? Yes, in next commentary. The movement of the wheel of his chariot produced, through which became... One second. Yes. The movement of the wheel of his chariot produced throws, which became 7 oceans. This means that he had 7 chariots, each with 1 wheel, by the power of his yoga. That hole they made, and then that was filled with the oceans, 7 oceans. Their movement was higher than the sun's, and they circled around the plane of the earth. Jiva Goswami says in the Sandarbha that one should understand that the chariots were successively larger and larger in size, since the outer circles were larger and larger. Those oceans and then islands. Some say that he made a larger and larger chariots in succession, each one twice the size of the previous one, traveling higher and higher, so that the inhabitants of his city in Aryavarta could see his chariot even at a great distance. Because the wheels of each chariot were broader than the previous ones, the oceans were successively broader. He rode in each of these 7 chariots for 25 days and 45.5 ghatikas each. That is total half year. So half year he was riding in one chariot. He rode in each of these 7 chariots for 25 days and 45.5 ghatikas each. So that means 1/2 year, starting with the summer equinox, with the sun gradually descending until Pausha month. Then again, starting from the winter equinox, he would travel until the cycle was completed, with the same number of days fixed, but with the opposite order of chariots, with the sun gradually ascending until Ashara month. These are Vedic months, Paush and Ashar, Mag, Kartik, like this. As the sun traveled around Meru clockwise, along with the dependent zodiac, it gradually increased in speed. and thus the days after the summer equinox became shorter each month. And from the winter equinox, the sun gradually slowed down and the days became longer. So this is by nature. But in order to decrease the night, Priyavrata by his own will circled Meru. But slowing down his chariot increased the length of the days after the winter equinox, and then decreased the length of the days according to his will by speeding up his chariot. So it seems that he also was following this, like the sun was going faster and slower, and that is why days and nights are different length. Yes. So he also, when he was going with his chariot, he was slowing down. Yes, and then decreased the length of the days according to his will by speeding up his chariot. By the power of yoga, his chariots were visible or invisible according to the time. Thus, 7 times in the previous verse means that he traveled in seven chariots in the same manner described above. There is no contradiction, since it is not proper to say that Priyavrata stopped pursuing the sun after only 7 days. And some say he did not give up this activity. Because of these 7 oceans, 7 continents formed. So here in further explanation it is written, this would apply relative to Aryavarta, means like that India, I think. It would gradually speed up during each rotation when it came to Aryavarta and slow down in the opposite area behind Meru. The accelerated section and decelerated section would gradually shift around Meru during the year. So here, then further explains, it appears from this description that before the time of Priyavrata, the days and nights were equal, but by his will made the length of the days and nights change throughout the year. No, but here it is also written that sun was, 1 second. Yes, as the sun traveled around Meru clockwise, I cannot understand. I think that he also made. Anyway, he is not ordinary person. That is the point. He could make this. He became like a second sun to give more benefit to the people. So tomorrow, then we will hear what happened. Yes, only this verse I will read. Duhitaram Chorjasvatim Namo Shanase Prayachat Yasyam Asi Devayani Nama Kavya Sutta. King Priyavrata then gave his daughter Urjaswati in marriage to Shukracharya, who begot in her a daughter named Devayani. This Devayani, we will hear about her in 9th canto. Very nice history. Devayani also, she was cursed. She wanted to marry one Brahmin who was student of Shukracharya, Brahmachari, but he was not interested. Then she was pushing so much, then he cursed her that you cannot get a husband Brahmin. Kshatriya you can get. Then when Sarmishta and Devayani, they were friends. Sharmishta is daughter of I forgot, one Kshatriya, and Devayani is Brahmin girl. But they were friends. But one day, by providence, they quarreled because of one cloth. Someone mixed. Then Sarmishta pushed her down in the well. Then she was inside. Devayani cannot come out. Then one king, the Jajati king, came, and she was asking for help, and he took her out with the hand. Then she said, now you have to marry me, because already you touched my hand, you rescued me. Then he said, no, that is not possible, because I am Kshatriya and you are Brahmin. That is not good. Pratiloma. Man can be higher Varna than girl, but not opposite. That is not good. Then she said, no, it is in my karma, because I was cursed that I cannot get Brahmin husband, so you have to marry me. It is arranged by God. Then Jajati also was thinking, yes, it is by God's will. Then he accepted, and like this, then whole story goes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Gandharvika Giridhari Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shri Radha Madan Mohan Panchatatatmak Shri Gaura Hari ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shri Radha Nayana Nath Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Jagannath Dev ki Jai. Jai Shila Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Parang Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Varya ki Jai. Jai Shri Panchatattva Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Brinda Devi Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Jai Sarva Vigna Vinashana Kari Shri Nri Shingadev ki Jai. Jai Shri SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM ki Jai. Jai Ananta Kuti Vaishnav Brinda ki Jai. Jai Samagata Bhakta Brinda ki Jai. जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, गौर परमानंदे हरि बोल। थैंक यू ऑल, दंडवत प्रणाम, हरि बोल।